So I teach something called the $0 framework. Okay, this is really, really cool and super important, right? The $0 framework. And what that means is that you find people, and I teach you how to do all this, find people, they pay you, so you get paid, then you provide value, and then you rinse and repeat. You do the same thing over again to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month in passive income.
Welcome to the Wealth Webinar Wednesday. It's September 28th. And today I'm Stephen Nagy, and myself with Shauna Decker will be hosting today. And we have an awesome guest that was on a podcast with Chris here recently. And Chris was so impressed. He's like, you got to come on and do the Wealth Webinar and talk directly with all of our students and members and clients that join us every week. So thank you everybody for being here. I think you're in for a super treat today. And Roger, how are you, sir?
Hey, man, it is so good to be with you guys. I'm doing super, super well. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was an introduction to Chris from Randy Garn. A lot of you guys know Randy is one of Chris's mentors when it comes to business. Randy cashed out of a company and is now at the billionaire status. So Randy knows how to run and grow and operate businesses. And he's a big part of what we do here at the Money School and BYOB and Money Multipliers. So appreciate Randy always for the strong introductions. And so Roger, obviously, you know Randy, and you guys do some stuff together. And I got to say, Roger, I love that sign in the background, the lifestyle legend, man. That's really cool. I'm sure you got is there a story behind that, or?
Yes, sir, man. I am, dude, I'm on a mission to help people become lifestyle legends, to be able to control their time and not have to work for other people. And so that's what we kind of call our group, people in the program, lifestyle legends.
Cool, man. Well, I can't wait to hear about it. I didn't have a chance to listen to the podcast that you did with Chris, so this will all be new for me as well. So I look forward to hearing it. But just to get everybody a quick background on Roger real fast, and then I'll let him take the show away. But Roger's a serial entrepreneur. He's developed an affinity and obsession for business and helping people. Teaches individuals how to start recurring revenue businesses without venture capital, debt, or real estate by using the internet to create recurring income in a new and easy way. So Roger's the CEO and founder of $0 Startup, Tuple Flipper, and Comstock Consulting. Roger loves being with family, especially his sweetheart, Kayla. So I love that, Roger. That's cool, man. She is literally his best friend. He enjoys being outside, golfing, camping, learning, thinking, reading, laughing, accomplishing goals, and helping people understand and reach their potential. He has a golden doodle, which is awesome too. I got a little Bernedoodle running around. I should say a big Bernedoodle. So maybe I have to get the dogs together one of these days.
Yes, sir.
So Roger's golden doodle is named Max, and basically a shadow wherever Roger goes. So you can follow Roger on Instagram at roger.comstock and learn more about what he does at the number $0 We'll post that stuff in the chat box. But Roger, thanks again for being here.
Hey, you are very, very welcome. I wish I could see everybody's faces. Being able to do this just makes me so happy. I love people. And I think human beings are incredible. They can do, anything they want to do, but unfortunately people just don't recognize or understand their potential, a lot of the times. And so I love watching people kind of have light bulb moments and go, oh man, this is, these are big things and life altering opportunities that can change who they are now and transform their future. So I'm stoked to be able to teach you guys some really fun stuff today. My hope is that you'll be able to take a whole lot from what we go over and use it to be able to make thousands and thousands of dollars every month, doing something that very, very, very few people are doing, which is cool. It's a brand new way to make money. It's not like Amazon. It's not Walmart stores. It's not affiliate stuff. And so it's exciting for everybody that's here to kind of learn something that is right at the ground level, and it's a bit of a blue ocean, right, for people wanting to make some money while they sleep, which is super cool. And the method that I use is a bit unusual, but it will it'll help you guys kind of break out of the rat race, get out of the 9-to-5 grind. And so if you've got questions, I'll be trying to monitor the comments there on the right hand side, but I'd love to answer them. What I want to talk about first and foremost is a lot of times people have this misconception that starting a business or being in business has to be risky, right? It's like, oh man, I already have this 9-to-5 job and my wife or kids, I can't afford to leave this place or else, everything might go wrong, might go belly up. What if this happens or this happens? And it causes all this unnecessary anxiety. When it doesn't have to be that way, I've found, and it's been really cool, I've taught a lot of people how they can actually keep their 9-to-5 job, create recurring income, and then choose to leave after they already have thousands of dollars coming in. We have a student in my program. It's really, really cool. He's from this little podunk town in Utah called Panguitch, Utah. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of this place, but tiny town. He'd never done anything like this in his whole life. It was brand new. He got into my program last year. And in his 8th month, he made over $30,000 in a month, which was really cool for him. He'd never done anything like that. And he texted me, he's like, dude, this is more than I've ever made basically in a year, right? In a month. And he did it all from his house. He used to be stuck in a cubicle as an accountant, and now he's actually helping to run, he has his own business, and then he just purchased another company and he's taking over that, which is super cool. So I want to show you guys kind of how this works. If you don't mind, if I could have your permission, I'm going to share a whiteboard with you guys and kind of go over some really, really interesting stuff. I like the whiteboard better than slideshow in this case, just because I can actually answer live questions here on the side. It won't be scripted, right? With any slides. I just already love you guys and appreciate, again, being able to invest time with you. And I do say invest on purpose, right? I feel like being able to be with y'all is a huge blessing for me. It's a privilege to be here with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and you guys are very, very welcome. Thanks for your kindness. Appreciate the comments. I'm gonna share my screen real quick here. And by the way, I do want to say y'all are really lucky to know Chris Naugle. He's become a great friend and somebody that's just crushing it. And so I'm grateful to know you guys. Anybody that knows Chris is a friend of mine. Also wanted to encourage anybody that's listening right now to go follow me on Instagram. Oh, awesome. I'm following you on IG already. That's amazing. Appreciate it. You can follow me there. That's where I put out a lot of content there, and it's an easy way to get in touch with me. You can send me a DM. It's roger.comstock is the Instagram. Thank you so much, Shauna. Yeah, man, I appreciate that so much. So you guys are all financial geniuses. I know if you follow Chris, you're probably very intelligent when it comes to finance. So I want to do some comparisons here and walk you through what people tend to kind of deal with in life, right? So everybody wants freedom, right? More than money, right? Time is so valuable. They want to be able to invest time in relationships with the people they love, doing things they enjoy, making money while they're on the beach, all of these fun things. But unfortunately, people just don't know how to do it, right? And one of the best things that we learn in investing in money is that it's good to have several streams of income or to have different assets that we can put our money into, right? So I'll just draw a little circle here for a sec. And we'll say that there's over here, you could have like real estate, you could have like an insurance policy, you could have stocks, you could have crypto, right? One of my very favorite ones is actually your own business. Okay. So biz, we'll just put biz there. And it's nice to own your own business for a lot of reasons. You can make, obviously you can make a lot of money. That way you can serve a lot of people. And Zig Ziglar, who's one of my favorite people ever, he said, you can have anything in life that you want as long as you're willing to help other people get what they want. And you become rich by helping other people become better, right? You become rich by helping other people get what they want in their life and growing and progressing and finding fulfillment and meaning and purpose and all of these wonderful things. So your business is a great way to go. Again, but unfortunately, people kind of they've dived into these aspects, but they just don't know this one too well, or they get scared about it. I don't know if you guys have ever had those feelings of like feeling afraid of moving forward. When I was starting my first company, I was scared to death. So you're rubbing shoulders with me if that's how you felt before. I felt like I was going to throw up. I wanted to cry. I think I did cry. Every morning I would wake up and just get this pit in my stomach. Like, what am I doing? Right. And so I want to make this a whole lot easier for you and show you some shortcuts that will help a ton. So one of the really cool things that we can do with the internet that a lot of people just aren't familiar with is being able to use it a lot like real estate, right? So, and let me explain what I mean here. So let's say that you owned a home, okay? Let's say that you own this house I'll do a poor drawing of a home here. Say this is your place, put your name above the door here. And you're going to rent it out. All right. Let's say that you can buy this house for 500 grand. Okay. So you buy this house for 500K, which means you'll probably need about 20% down to buy this as an investment property. So 100K you put into this place. That's a lot of money, right? That you've got to put in to buy this home. Now, here's the thing that's a little bit tricky. If you put 100K into this house, you're going to need to cover the mortgage. And let's just say the mortgage is, to make numbers really easy, we'll call it $2,500, okay, a month. 25, it's probably a little bit higher with interest rates where they are right now, but let's say it's $2,500. So you're going to need somebody to rent this out for more than $2,500 to make any cash flow, right? So let's say that you rent this house out for $2,700 a month for somebody to live there, right? So total cash flow, thankfully, business math is not too bad. It makes it nice and easy for us. 2,700 minus the mortgage would equal $200, right, in cash flow. Does this make sense to everybody? That's what you would be making every month on a monthly basis for owning this property. Now, what's interesting is how much did you have to spend in order or to invest in order to make $200 a month? A lot of money, right? 100 grand. You had to put in $100,000. And so then you're going to look at your rate of return. You can say, all right, how long is it going to take to pay down, all of this debt using this leverage, and how much equity do I have in the house, and the appreciation of the home and cash flow, all these things. When what's really, really cool that people just don't understand is that you can make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month online without spending any money doing it. And I want to show you how, because a lot of people hear that like, oh, it sounds like, too good to be true, or a get rich quick scheme. And it's not get rich quick. It requires work. And if anybody's willing to learn and to apply new things, you can get really, really good at this. Real estate is great. It's really, really, really good. We'll put a check mark by it because we don't want to say that it's a bad thing. It's just another asset, right, that you can invest in. Me and my sweetheart right now, we are getting ready to buy a nice little beach house, which will be tons of fun. Real estate's awesome. It'll be a great place to vacation, fun place to have family go to, all of these good things. So check this out, okay? Let's just say that you were to build a Facebook page. Okay, now follow along with me and ask any questions you have, okay? Because I'm going to teach you how to run real estate online for free, right? Like, so you don't have to spend 100 grand, and it's way easier than getting homes. It's very different, brand new. Like, no one's doing this. Very, very few people. So let's say you were to build a Facebook page, okay, that looked something like this. And we'll just call it, why don't we just call it like ABC Epoxy? That's what we'll call it. Is everybody familiar with what epoxy is? Like epoxy flooring. We're just going to use this as our example. It's like a home service where if your garage is concrete, they'll come in and like cover it in this glossy stuff that keeps it safe and protected, right? So we'll call this ABC Epoxy, this Facebook page. Now, when I say it will take you about 7 minutes to make this page, I'm not kidding. You could go do it right now. Make a page that says whatever epoxy, call it whatever it is that you want, right? Now, here's what's cool. Let's say that there is a business owner. And in this example, let's just call the business owner Dwight Schrute. I hope you guys are fans of The Office. I love The Office. But let's say this guy's name is Dwight Schrute and he owns an epoxy flooring company. Chances are Dwight is really, really good at what he does. He knows how to epoxy floors. But does Dwight know how to get customers? Right? That's the question. Does Dwight know how to find new customers? Beats, Bears, Battlestar Galactica. Yes, exactly. Schrute Farms. I love it. Yeah. So it's perfect, right? He does not know how to get customers, but he knows how to epoxy floors. So watch how cool this is. Now, so I own this Facebook page. I built it, right? Let's say that we'll put Dwight Schrute. Let's say that he's living in Florida right now. What if Dwight wanted to rent traffic, right? What if he wanted to rent people or buy people from me that already wanted their floors epoxied from my asset? Now, this is an asset because an asset produces cash flow, right? Every single month. So what if I were to drive traffic to ABC Epoxy, this page? What if I were to say this? What if I were to say, Dwight, I find a ton of people who already need their floors epoxied. Are you guys crazy busy right now? Or can you handle a couple extra jobs? What's Dwight going to say? Right? He'll absolutely, right? Like he wants more work. So what if I were to say this? Watch this. Remember, you spent 100 grand to make $200 a month with the home. But what if I were to say this to Dwight? Dwight, I'm going to charge you $1,200 a month, right? $1,200. And I'm going to rent you these people in your area that already want their floors epoxied. Now, if Dwight's like, I would love that, right? I don't want to go door to door finding this business. My brother-in-law lives in Texas, and he got a knock on his door the other day from somebody who does epoxy flooring, and they were just in the hot sun trying to get business, right? These guys would rather be at home with their families watching an episode of The Office, right? And air conditioning, right? And so if Dwight was able to stay at home with his family and get a text message from me that said, hey, Dwight, somebody wants their floor epoxy. Here's their number. Here's their name. Here's their email. Here's when they want it done. And here's how big the job is. Is Dwight going to be interested in that? Yes, it does help the service provider. It's amazing. Tons of value and tons of money for you, right? Which is cool. So let's say, again, you charge Dwight $1,200 a month for this. Well, that's awesome. So say that he pays you. So Dwight's like, yeah, dude, I want to sign up. This sounds amazing. I would love to do this. So he pays you $1,200. How much money has left your bank account so far? How much money did you have to pay to get that $1,200? Zero, right? That's what's so cool is it's 4.5 times as much money as you're going to be making from the investment on the home. That's why the company that I run is called $0 Startup. It's so cool how this stuff works. So $1,200 a month. Now, what if you said, Dwight, that sounds amazing. So to start working with me, it's $1,500 one time for an initial build out, and then $1,200 a month. Now, how much did you just make? You just pocketed $2,700, and $1,200 of that is recurring monthly, right? It's so cool. Let's say that it costs you $300 to drive traffic for Dwight. Well, now you're making, so there's your revenue, $1,200. Your profit is $900 a month, $900 in profit, which you can do whatever you want with, even with your 9 to 5, right? It's really easy to find people that need help like this. So let's say that you're in your 9 to 5, and let's say you find 10 people that are like Dwight. From this, remember, since you own this Facebook page, remember this, you own this. This is yours. So it's no one else's traffic. This Facebook page is like a magical apartment complex. It can hold as many people as you want it to, right? As many people as you want. So if you bought a house, how many people can it hold, right? It can hold one renter, one family. And then what do you need to do if you want more money? You have to buy another house, right? And that costs more money. In this case, watch, let's say that Dwight is loving what I'm doing. Now let's say I meet somebody named Pam Beasley, right? Pam Beasley. And let's say that she is in, I don't know, we'll say she's in Washington State, okay? So Pam Beasley's in Washington. Well, what do you think I should charge her? Let's say she does epoxy too. I'm using the same asset. This can be used across the whole country. It's crazy. Like, think about this. What if you've got a house? How many people can rent that house? Only people that live in that area or people that are traveling, right, to that area. If you buy an apartment complex, you're going to be renting it to people that are in that locale, in that area, right? With this asset, you can use it across the entire country with unlimited supply, unlimited amount of rooms you can rent out with zero risk. Is this making sense to everybody? Can you guys like raise your hand over there, like say yes, if this is making sense? Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad. Morgan, it's like having a multi-unit apartment worldwide. That's exactly right. So you got Pam here. Let's say she's an epoxy owner too. Well, what are you going to charge her? And let's say that we're going to charge $1,200 a month to Pam. And again, $1,500 to start with us. We just made another $2,700, which means that with just 2 clients, we've made over $5,000 and spent zero money. And we're going to have $2,400 coming in a month. Holy cow, right? And that's going to equate to $1,800 in pure profit. You get to use that money for whatever you need. How many homes would you need to buy to make $1,800 a month, right? Crazy. You'd have to buy 9 homes with our previous idea, 9 homes. How much money would that be? $4.5 million, right? Or 900 grand of your money to do that. This is a really cool model. It's very different. It's very different than what people are doing, but it's so cool, right? So now check this out. So you got 1,200. So now we've got Pam who's paying us as well. She's excited. We're getting her clients or people that are interested in what she's doing. Now look, now we've got Stanley, right? Well, we've got Stanley, and let's say, and by the way, does anybody know Stanley's last name? I thought about this the other day. I don't know if Stanley has a last name, but Stanley from The Office, we'll say we've got him. And let's say that he's working in Utah. All right. We're going to use the same asset that we have, and we're going to make another $1,200 a month. Stanley Steamer. That's awesome. Okay. Well, now let's just do this. Let's make this really easy. Let's say that we've got 10 people. Okay. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All in the same asset. Now you could have unlimited. You could have an infinite amount. Stanley Hudson, that's what it is. Thank you. Stanley Hudson, right? So 10 people. Somebody tell me, do quick math. How much money, if you're charging $1,200 a month to these people and you're providing real value to them, $1,200 a month, how much money will you be making on a monthly basis? Times 10, 1,200 times 10. What is it? 1,200 times 10 a month. 12K. Awesome. That's $12,000 a month. Yes, and great question. $1,200 is a great price. And let me tell you why. Somebody said, do people actually agree to pay $1,200? What's so cool, check this out. At $1,200 a month, what's amazing is, let's say that, so just so you know, these epoxy flooring companies, how much do they make per deal they do? Per garage, they're going to make around $2,000. Dang. So watch how cool this is. You can go through the math with them. Watch if they're, let's say that you've got somebody, let's go back to Dwight. Let's say Dwight's doing 4 jobs a month without you, 4 jobs. So he's making 8K a month gross. What if you come in there and send him 15 to 30 people who are interested and he closes 6 of them? 6 times $2,000, an extra $12,000 plus the 8K he's already making. He's going to go from making 8K to $20,000 a month, right? That's amazing. $20,000. Now here's what's amazing about that, right? If he's making 20K, is $1,200 worth it? Yeah, big time, right? It's value. You're creating value. And what's so cool in life is you get paid a lot of money for creating value instead of just putting time into something, right? Like, for example, somebody could work at McDonald's, make $10 an hour, work 8 hours a day. So they make 80 bucks a day, 5 days a week, $400 times a month, $1,600 in a month. Or they could just sell one of these deals and make more in a couple minutes. And it would be recurring. So I hope you guys are seeing how powerful this is, right? This is a great way to invest your time, even if you keep your 9 to 5. Now, here's what's cool. What I did is I started a company that does a lot of these types of things. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of ways to do this kind of business. And I could show you a ton more. Follow me and reach out to me, direct message me, and I'll get back to you. And I can show you a lot of ways to make money just like this. Different, really, really cool ways, right? So somebody asked, like, does this work for every business? It's a good question. It works for just oodles of businesses. Let me explain why. Let's say you are somebody that does landscaping. Would it work for somebody like that? Absolutely. Carpet cleaning? Absolutely. Window washing? Absolutely. Basement remodeling? Absolutely. And okay, so Francisco says, what happens if he doesn't close on jobs? That's a great question. If he doesn't close on jobs, so if you're renting him traffic, it's going to be up to that business owner to make sure that he's able to talk to people and get the deal across the line. So you're sending him people that already are interested in having his help. He's going to need to go over there and give a bid, right? And get the job across the line. So you may send him 30 people and maybe he'll close. It depends on what his close rate is, right? If the business owner is really good at what he does, then maybe he's going to close 20%, 30% of those, maybe less, maybe more, right? But it depends on the business owner. I hope that helps, Francisco. Hopefully you're able to see. So that would be 12 grand a month in revenue with only 10 people. Now you take $300 in cost for running the traffic for these people across the country. This is really, really cool. So now you take 900 times 10, that's your profit, $9,000, or you're making 6 figures a year by only helping 10 clients. And just so you know, I closed 3 people for epoxy flooring, and I was doing a bit of a discounted rate, but I closed 3 people in a day, which makes it really easy. Makes it helpful to be able to get people across the line quick, right? So that's what my students are learning. They're learning how to do this stuff. So you would own a company that helped rent online traffic to people. It's really cool. Here's another question here from Mike. What if the service company does a terrible job? Won't that hurt your sales? No, what's really, really cool is this asset is just a way to be able, think of this asset kind of like a traffic signal. So I can choose where to run this asset across the whole country. So you may say, hey, I want to help 2 people in Idaho, 2 people in Rhode Island, 2 people in Florida, Texas, Maine, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, right? Across the country. And you can run this little asset. Again, it's kind of like you drive traffic to it and then you just reroute it to these people. Now, this is really important, okay? For everybody listening, listen up. This is super important. This process, I teach you how to automate it. It's fully automated, right? So somebody comes to the traffic light and it's sent to them. They get a text message and it's automatic. You don't have to be the guy that's monitoring the traffic. It's not like you're the cop in the middle of the traffic thing being like, all right, you go here, because with a lot of customers, that would be challenging, right? So I teach you how to automate it. Somebody comes in and it's automatically rerouted to where it needs to go every single time. So really, really cool stuff. Let's see another question from Jim. Wouldn't they want to guarantee that you get them 10 to 20 jobs for the $1,200 a month? It's a good question. So businesses, you can offer guarantees if you want to. They may get more than that, right? And they may get less based off what it is, but you can always turn up your ad spend. Your ad spend is kind of like a faucet, how you're directing traffic to that site, right? Or to that page. So if you're not getting enough people coming, you can turn it up. So if your cost was 300, you're like, oh no, we need to have more. You can turn it up a little bit. Maybe you go to 400. And then in that case, you're still making $800 a month profit. I want all of my students making 50 to 95% profit margins. That's the best way to do business because it allows you to serve people and take care of people while making a lot of money and enjoying freedom. Can I tell you guys a story? I'm going to tell you a story really quick. This is so fun. This is the life I want everybody to have, right? Everybody deserves it. Check this out. So I was down in a little place in Utah called St. George. I don't know if any of you guys have been there, but it's beautiful. I was with my sweetheart, the love of my life, and we were down there with my cousin who had just gotten married. We were eating delicious frozen custard. It was a beautiful summer night and laughing our heads off, having a good time. And while I was there, like $900 came into my account while I was eating ice cream, right? And then we were going to bed that night, me and my sweetheart, and $3,000 came into our bank account. It was actually $2,999 that came into the bank account right as we were going to bed. And then we woke up, and the next day or the day right after that, we were playing a game with my family called Settlers of Catan. Super fun game. But another $800 came into the account while I was playing a game, right? It's really, really cool to make money while you're doing things that you love doing with the people that you enjoy doing those things with the most, right? Like people deserve freedom, right? Like you don't want to be stuck in the rat race. You don't want to be stuck in the 9-to-5 grind. It's not very fun. It's not the way life was meant to be lived, right? We live in this weird society. I don't even know how the 9-to-5 got started. Why in the world do people work 9-to-5? Right? It's crazy. It's like this thing that started years and years and years ago, and everybody's like, all right, I guess that's what we do, right? But wouldn't you rather invest time with people that you love? Right? Wouldn't that be so much different for you? Like, just imagine this. Think about this with me. Just imagine going on a vacation. Let's say that you've got a bunch of clients and they're paying you monthly, right? And let's say that you're making 20 grand a month, right? And if you've never made that, you can do that really easily, learning this stuff. Let's say you're making 20 grand a month. All right. So again, one of my students who's just this, again, from this little podunk town in Utah, Panguitch, in his 8th month in the program, made over $30,000. Super cool. Right? That's a lot of freedom. He'd hang out in the morning with his daughter for like 4 hours, never going to his old accounting job in the cubicle. Right? So imagine this. Let's say you're making $20,000 a month and you decide to go to the beach with your sweetheart, with your kids. You put up a nice, umbrella. You got your toes dipped in some flowery white sand. You're listening to the ocean. You're drinking a pina colada while the sun's setting, and you're not stressed because you've got recurring income, right? Instead of like, oh no, I've got to get home because I got to make more money, right? We just spent $5 grand at this resort and I got to get home quick so I can make it back. What if you just already knew like that's going to come back into the account next month, right? Then you could relax, you could enjoy, right? How nice would that be? Right? And then when you did spend money, when you invested in memories and time with the people that you loved, right? How cool would that be simply because you understood that it all comes back and you're serving people in the process. You're able to help people. That's the kind of stuff that I teach. And it's so fun. It's an absolute blast. See what Shauna just said. What's really nice is you're sourcing desire and need for the service. Yes.
You're not necessarily like the middleman or like closing any of these sales on behalf of these companies. So the work, like the quality of work is up to the company a little bit, right?
Let me show you. This is really cool. You'll love this. It's a great question. I'm going to clear this. Okay. Let me show you. So I got my MBA and I highly regret it. If you're thinking about getting your MBA, don't do it. Right. I learned nothing in my MBA. Everything, like they gave us a book on business models. They're like, you got to read this book and it's going to teach you everything about business. And it was just like super complex and confusing stuff. You don't need any of that. You just want it to be simple, right? Like really, really easy. So let me just break down how every single business in the world works so easily. And you guys, I have a fairly unused MBA. Yeah, I love it. Colleen, that's perfect. Me too. I'm going to show you, this is how every single business in the world is structured. And I'm going to teach you how to use it to make lots and lots and lots of money, right? Like if you've never made over 100K in a month, you should. Why not? You should do it, right? This is it. This is how every business is structured right here. Okay. We have a consumer. We'll call them C. All right. We've got at the bottom, a manufacturer. And we've got a wholesaler or a reseller. sometimes, very few times, but it's happening more and more, what happens? Sometimes this person is removed and we go right from the manufacturer to the consumer. I've got this client, he's been with me since 2019. He's awesome. He pays me every single month, over $1,000 every month. And so since 2019, just on this one client, I do nothing. I think I've talked to him one time, like total, like one time, because I have somebody else doing all the fulfillment. And it's been over 40 grand that's coming to my account just from that one client. I've helped hundreds of locations, right? So that's really, really cool for you to think about. Like you're doing very little work for a lot of money. That's a fun business model, right? So this is the way so I'm going to prove how this is the case, right? Let's say that you buy eggs, right? And let's say that you buy them from Walmart. So the end consumer is you. So this would be you. Who's the reseller? Walmart. Right? Who's the manufacturer? The farmer. You don't go to the farm to grab the eggs, right? Let's say that you're buying dog food. I've got a cousin who owns a big, huge dog food manufacturing plant. This is crazy too. Watch this. Everybody thinks like, what if you buy Kibbles and Bits or Purina, right? Or all of these different companies. Guess what? They're all the same dog food. Isn't that crazy? So it's really crazy at his like manufacturing shop. They make all this dog food and all they do is that, what do? They just put them in different packages with different brands. Isn't that crazy? Are you guys familiar with this? Is that just wild or what? Right? So again, look, we've got somebody, the end consumer, like I've got a dog, I buy dog food, my little golden doodle Max. So I'm the consumer. The wholesaler would be anywhere I go to buy the dog food, whether that's Harmon's or Macy's or Kroger's or Food Lion or Publix or Walmart or wherever it is, right? We've got some wholesaler and there's a manufacturer out in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, right? They're giving the dog food to the wholesaler and I'm buying it. This is the only business model. It's the same with cats. Yeah. Right. Like same with bikes, right? Same with cars. Yes. I mean, this is how business is structured. So now let me teach you how you can use it. Is that okay? I'm going to show you how you can use this. Oh, clothes for sure. Yeah. People buy clothes really cheap from, usually overseas, right? They send them over here, they brand them with their name and they sell them for a ginormous premium. But this is the only business model you'll ever need. It's so cool. Even like if you're buying insurance, if you're buying stocks, if you're doing any real estate, think about this. Somebody builds the home, then you have a broker that sells you the home, and then you live in the home, right? Super crazy stuff, right? We usually don't go buy the home directly from the home builder. We buy it from a seller agent. Most times more than one middle level. There can be more than one middle level. Yeah, they're exactly multiple wholesalers. Right. So the manufacturer may distribute to multiple middle levels and then to a consumer. That's a great point. Thanks, Morgan. Great point. I love that. Okay. So here we go. Last point, and then I'm willing to answer any other questions. So watch this. Let's say that I love home services. I've worked with home service companies a lot. I love them because they're just really kind people, right? And they need help. They need a lot of help. They're really good at doing what they do, but they have no idea how to get customers. And so they need a hand. So let's say that I'm going to help an HVAC company right now. So HVAC, this guy needs more business. I'm going to be the guy that's in the middle, right? But I've got somebody else that can do all of the work for me down here, all of the fulfillment. They can do all of if you've never heard of SEO, they can do that for this person very well. They can send him reports every week on where he's ranking and if people are finding him. They can send him, they can send him blog posts or they can link backlinks to his website so that he shows up higher and more people are able to find him. All of this really, really cool stuff, right? That allows him to get more business, that allows his company to grow, right? Really, really cool. Great question. Do you have contracts with these people? So I teach all of this stuff. It's actually way easier than most people think. I call these people at the bottom, I call them PSPs, pocket-sized partners, right? Because a lot of times people go into business and they're like, oh man, I got to structure all these big agreements and it's going to be stressful and big and challenging. It's not. It's really easy. In fact, in my program, I just give all of my students a group to work with that does an amazing job that already does all of the fulfillment. So it's really cool. And what's really fun too for my students, I don't take any of their business. Right? Like I love my students so much. I want them to be happy and successful and to have all of this fun stuff. I make a lot of money, which I'm grateful for. And so I want to allow my students to make as much as is possible. It's really, really fun. Right. And so this group that I allow them to work with, that I reference them to, they can do all of this fulfillment. So they can build out a Facebook campaign for you. They can do SEO. They can do all of this cool stuff. Now, let me teach you how this works. So this HVAC company, let's say that his name is Jim. We'll use Jim Halpert. He owns this HVAC company. Let's say this is me right here. And I'm talking to Jim and I'm like, Jim, I want to make sure that people are finding you in your area, right? That everybody is able to find you. Jim's like, yeah, that would be great because right now no one's able to find me and all my competitors are getting all this money. Right? Is this making sense? So Jim's like, I would love to work with you. And I'm like, awesome, Jim, that sounds great. I'm going to charge you, Jim, I'm going to charge you $899 a month to work with me. This is awesome. Are you seeing this? How much money had to go out of my pocket to find Jim? How much money did I have to spend to make $899 a month? $0. This is bonkers stuff. People don't understand how cool this is, right? This is $899. This is like, again, like 4.5 times what you would make off of cash flow from that home. Now watch, what if my cost, because you're probably asking, I'm sure you are like, well, wait a minute. Like, what do you pay? Don't I need to pay these guys for doing the work? Yes. But here's what's cool. After they've paid me, and I may charge, again, you could charge $1,500 as a startup, right? That's kind of nice. You made $1,500 plus $899 on top of that. Now, these guys down here, what are they going to charge you? Their actual price they will charge you to do this is $187 after you've already been paid. So I teach something called the $0 framework. Okay, this is really, really cool and super important. Right? The $0 framework. And what that means is that you find people, and I teach you how to do all this, find people, they pay you. So you get paid, then you provide value, and then you rinse and repeat. You do the same thing over again to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month in passive income. Like truly passive income, right? That's what's so cool. So what's the amount here that you're going to make monthly? If let's say they're giving you $899, and then you pay these guys $187 to do all the work I would never want to do. The amount of work that these guys do, it's a lot of work, but they've got big teams that are able to do it. I don't want to do it, right? All I have to do is just make a friend, right? I just have to talk to Jim, make sure he's taken care of. This is bonkers profit, right? So you're bringing in $899 revenue monthly, plus the $1,500 you pocketed, and pure profit you're putting into your bank account. You can go use for, look, think about what does $712 buy for you with just one client that's just like on autopilot. You don't have to do anything. They do all of the work, right? This company down here, remember this business model, there's only 3 levels. This company down here does all the work. They send reports to your client. They take care. They do everything that you need to do. 712, man, that's a really cool car you could get for that, right? You could get a nice car. Let's say you get 2 of those clients, 1,400 and what is it? $24, right? You think about what that could buy for you. These are assets. And one of the things I love about Chris is he teaches people how to be financially smart. This is very smart. It's something, and then I'm willing to take questions right after this, but I hope it makes sense. This is why it's so smart, okay? In investing, we have something called asymmetric risk. It's kind of a big word. It doesn't need to be that big. I don't know why it is so big, but I'm going to explain it, right? Asymmetric risk. What that means is that what you want to do is you want to make the very most money you can with the very lowest risk possible, right? So things that have asymmetric risk, a lot of times when you hear about all these people that start businesses and they go out of business. How come? Why did they go out of business? It's because they started a company that had a lot of risk involved. They went and mortgaged their home. They went and got all these loans to buy all this equipment, right? They're not following the $0 framework, which is what I teach, which is you find first, you make money before money goes out. Money comes into your account. How much risk is that? If money is coming in before it's going out, how much risk is that? 0. No risk if money's coming in before it's going out, right? That's how this business model works. That's why I love it so much. I love helping people with this. It makes me so happy. It gives me a lot of purpose, right? And meaning in my life, a lot of fulfillment. I absolutely love it. And I've loved being here with you guys. I hope this makes sense. This is like out of all the business models in the world, this one is probably my very, very favorite. I've used this model in all of my companies. And I do well financially, and I want you to do well financially, right? This is how you can do it. It's super, super fun. Okay. Great question, Jim. How do you find the customers that need the work done? Oh, it's so easy. And I teach you how to do this too. Right. So you have if you're going to work with HVAC companies, actually in the program, I give you a tool. I teach you how to use a tool that allows you just to find hundreds of different, well, thousands, not just hundreds, thousands of different HVAC companies that you can talk to and give this stuff to, which is great. I also teach you how to run your own ads, which is really cool. Or you can have a group run them for you, right? I teach you how to do it both ways. So if you're somebody that likes to get your hands dirty and kind of learn the ropes and learn how things work, I teach you how to do that. If you'd rather have somebody else do it for you, I also teach you how to do that, right? So super, super cool stuff. Any unique businesses you work with? Yeah, I've worked with tons of businesses, tons of different kinds of businesses. I've worked with HVAC companies, carpet cleaners, window washers, basement remodelers, I believe, vinyl fencing companies, epoxy companies, electricians, plumbers, bike rental companies, spas, restaurants. So lots of cool different businesses. And by the way, there's really cool products. We covered 2 products in here today. There's all kinds of cool products like we talked about for different types of businesses that would be covered as well inside of the program. So again, if you're interested in any of this, man, I just already love you guys like crazy. I want you guys to be happy and successful. And I want you to be able to keep the 9 to 5 you have until you're making enough money monthly where you can say, hey, I can quit with no worries, right? That would be really nice. I don't know what you're making now. Let's say you're making 10 grand a month right now, right? And you say to yourself, all right, I'm going to hop into this program and I'm going to wait until I'm making an additional 10K a month. And then I'm going to quit my other job. You can do that, right? That's possible. Or you can just go cold turkey and say, hey, I'm going all in, right? And I'm going to start crushing it this way. It's up to you, but really cool stuff. Let's see, all home repair servicing type. Great question. No, they're not all home service companies, but I love that industry and niche because there's a lot of value there, right? Whenever you can solve a problem, that's where the money is. So let's say I went to a company that does marketing, right? They do that stuff. And I'm like, hey, you want me to give you people that are interested in what you're doing? They're gonna be like, no, we can already do that, right? They know how to do, there's not a lot of value there. So that means there's not going to be a lot of money to make. With a home service company, there's tons of value because they don't know how to do this stuff. So they're willing to pay top dollar to make it happen. I hope that makes sense. I want to use this to infuse capital into our health. Yes, great idea. Morgan, let me just tell you this, the company that I do this stuff with, that I've done this stuff with, right? It is my golden goose. I've used it to fund all of my other companies. It's so cool. So it just produces still to this day, recurring income, right? Money comes in every month from that business. I've had it for years. It's so fun. It just seems they're already overwhelmed with clients. No, great question. So one of the things that I want to clear up here for everybody, this is really important, okay? And this is a mindset shift thing. We talk about this in my program. We don't have enough time today to go over this, but very small thing to think about, okay? Great comment, Donna. So I want to address it. Right now, there are about 28 million. Okay, I want you to hear that number. There are about 28 million small to medium-sized businesses across the country. 28 million, right? And about 2 million enter the economy every single year, right? There's companies right now that have no idea how to get customers. Now, Donna, there are some that have a bunch of clients, right? And those would be people you don't need to help, and that's okay, right? Not everyone you talk to is going to want your help. But there are so many companies that just are dying for help. They need you. They need someone to come take care of them, right? They need help. And what's so cool is there's about 2 million companies that leave the macro economy every year, right? So it's this constant turn. So what this teaches us about this business model is it's one of the most unique models available. It's something it's called evergreen, right? Evergreen means that as long as there's businesses around, you're always going to be able to make money. Always going to be able to make money because people always need help, right? Really cool. Jorge, so is this like a marketing agency? Great question. It would be a type. Yeah. It's not what normal agencies are doing in a lot of ways, but it's a different type. Yeah. You would be providing marketing or helping people get new business, helping people. See, most business owners know that they know, but they do not know how to market and sell. That's right, man. That is so right. Right. A lot of these companies too, they would just do anything. They're thinking, dang, like I would just love more than anything to be able to figure out how to grow my business. Then all of a sudden they hop on a phone call with you, right? Like, let me help you, right? Let me send you people their way. And it can be a really great relationship. Let's see, do you offer a discounted trial run for a month because the businesses are skeptical on what you could provide? No. So this is a mindset thing as well. All right. So this is all talked about in the program. You don't want to offer trials. The reason for that is people aren't invested, right? They don't take it serious. right? When somebody spends money, because $1,200 isn't a lot of money, right? $600, $1,200, $1,500, that's not a lot of money for a business owner to invest with you, right? And so you want to make sure it's called in the business world, they call it having some skin in the game, right? So when you're talking to somebody, you want to make sure that they see the value in what you're doing, and then they pay you for it because they're investing, and that will get them excited about what they're doing, and they'll be more committed to making it work. Like, think about it. If they're not paying anything for it, and then you're trying to generate traffic for them, they're not going to value that. I hope that's helpful. So what's the difference if it's not really like a marketing agency? I'd say it's a different type of agency, right? It's different. So most marketing agencies, great question, Chris. Like, most marketing agencies are going to go to the individual company's asset that they already have, like a Facebook page. So let's say that there's a company called, I don't know, JT's Home Services, right? JT's Home Services. So what most marketing agencies will do is go to JT's Home Services, and they'll ask for his credentials or her credentials into their business, and they'll drive traffic for that company, right? So they don't own the asset. I hope that makes sense, Chris, right? Like in this case, what we talked about, you own the asset, you own the home, right? The magical apartment complex. You have the asset, you drive traffic to it, and you rent it out. In most marketing agencies, it's going to be you're driving traffic for somebody else, right? I hope that makes sense. Super cool. Looks like we're running out of time here, but looks like there's one more question. How do you pick the niche and need, and how do you partner with the service providers? And what does that conversation look like with the Dwights and Pams of the world? Great question. We cover that a ton in the program as well. And I actually just give you, so what's fun is like my whole goal is to make people's life as easy, simple, and unburdensome as is possible, right? So if you get into the program, we really want to make sure you're taken care of and that we hold your hand through this whole process. There's no stress that from A to Z, you've got somebody that's with you the whole time. And so we actually give you a niche that you can automatically plug into. We give you all the tools that you need, you can automatically plug into. Somebody just asked a question, Carol, about automation. Yes, we give you all the software to automate. We teach you how to automate. It's game-changing stuff. This is a life-changing system. Oh, we also go 90 minutes, so we have time. Oh, awesome. Oh,
yeah, we have a lot of questions in the Q&A box, but I think we can probably just cover them all, I think, in a generalization way. So you're sourcing like a bigger need, right? You're not necessarily saying work with company X HVAC company. You're just saying, do you have interests in HVAC needs? And then you're pulling in leads that way. And that's what makes it a little bit easier on you to grow your lead base.
Oh, so check this out. This is really, really cool. So let's say I'm working with an HVAC company. Again, we'll go to Jim. He was our HVAC owner, right? Jim probably wants to show up on search engines. So let's say, like, anybody listening to this, let's say that somebody's HVAC unit goes out, right? And you live in Jim's area. Jim wants you to call him. And so the goal for Jim is to get his company on top. Jim wants his company to be the one that shows up so that you call him instead of his competitor, because if you call his competitor, who makes the money? The competitor, right? So you want to help Jim show up first. And that's what these companies, so this group that I teach you and help you partner up with, they do all that work for you. So you're just the guy that connects that group with Jim, but you make way bigger than 50% margins, right? You're making the lion's share. You're making like 80% margins off that monthly. It's so cool. It's just crazy.
Do you have issues with people approaching your company Facebook page, but then not hearing from you? They get cold called by a contractor they didn't find. Do they care? I guess I know, like, in the very beginning you kicked off like a Facebook page example, so maybe this is just questions on what like a Facebook page might look like and what does that entail to run it.
That's a great question. Yeah, here's what's cool. So I'm just going to give you guys a fun little secret right now that it makes your life so easy. There's this free program online. I can't believe it's free. It's amazing. It's called Canva. Right. And you can just build a Facebook page. It generates a logo for you. So we'll just think of one right now. We could build it right now, but let's just say that we wanted to drive traffic to this page. And let's say we call it Sunny HVAC. So we could just make the background of it already has the template in Canva. So go to canva.com after this meeting. You'll see how easy it is. Make a yellow background and then type in elements, type in sun, bring in a sun and then some really cool text and put Sunny HVAC. You have a Facebook page background. And then all you do is you run ads to that page. Now you can run the ads to the page, or you can have this group that I introduced you to run the ads to the page, and then you can rent it out. So I hope that makes sense. It makes it really, really easy that way. Super, super simple. So one ad for all the areas, and then we contact the vendor in the customer's area. Good question. So in this case, no, what's so nice for you is you don't have to do much work at all. And it's to this question, Colleen, it's all automated, right? And so you basically picture buying a traffic stop. It's yours, like you own it. And then the automation automatically drives them to the right place and sends them over to Dwight, sends them over to Pam, sends them over to Stanley. They get text messages automatically, right? So you don't have to be the person. You're not like sitting there monitoring like, oh, Dwight just got one, I better send him this, right? You get to be with your family doing whatever, and it's just automatically running in the background. So that makes it a lot of fun for you. Let's see, should this type of business be run through a corporate entity? Great question. We talk about this in the program too. Yes, every business should be run through a corporate entity. Generally an LLC is best as far as protecting your assets go, a limited liability company, until you get a certain amount of revenue. And then you can actually have the LLC be recognized as an S Corp, which will protect you with taxes, which is really, really cool. I hope that helped Chris. Is there a contract between you and the businesses? And what about taxes? Great question. So when you're providing a service for somebody, it's not actually taxable. You will pay business taxes and personal taxes at the end of the year. But when you're providing a service, it's not taxed like products, which is amazing too, right? Again, this model, it's unbeatable. It's hard to beat. It's a great way to be able to make money. So I hope that helps, Mike. We'll click down there. And then let me get back. There was a great question. There we go, from Morgan. I want to make sure she's taking care of her. Morgan, I don't know if you're a gal or a guy, but I want to make sure you're taken care of. So multiple plumbers or HVAC, good question. So yeah, like in a particular area, you may choose like, hey, I'm going to help HVAC companies within counties, right? You could do that if you didn't want them competing. Or you could help, there's really a lot of different types of businesses too. Like you could say, I'm going to help an HVAC company, a plumber, an electrician, a basement remodeler, an epoxy company, a window washer, a carpet cleaner, landscaper, rockscaper, pergola builder. Like it's unlimited, right? So if there's this idea of like, oh, I just don't know if there's enough people to help. You want to get that idea like out of your head as soon as possible. There are so many people who, again, that need help with this stuff. And so there's always someone to help. And remember too, like this is a very unique business because you're using the internet, which allows you to be able to serve the entire country, right? Like every single person has the ability to be able to, across the country, to be able to work with you, instead of like, oh, you only get to serve people in Florida, or you can only work with people in Texas, right? Very, very different. That's why I love this model as well in comparison to like a restaurant, right? Or something. If you say you opened a restaurant or a brick and mortar boutique, right, in your area, you only can serve customers within that locale, that area, right? You got to market to your area. In this case, you've got 300 million people across the United States that you can market to, and 28 million small businesses. Okay, so let's see here.
I can round up a couple questions in one. Is when fully automated, how much time is required by a person? And then details of your program or training services. We can wrap those all up in 3.
Yeah, great question. So details to be able to work with me, just send me a DM. I want to get to know you guys. Reach out to me directly. I'll monitor those from this meeting. And then I'll probably have you speak with, I've got a really, really, like some of my best friends are on my team, and they may call you and talk to you a little bit about the program. They're just the best people. They have hearts made of pure gold, and they'll take really, really good care of you. And so, yeah, reach out to me on Instagram. You can go to $0startup.com as well. Hopefully that helps in getting in touch with me. What was the first part of the question again?
I do know that it was just like what like the time commitment of it as a person.
Yeah. Great question. Not very much time. I actually teach this in the program as well. There's very, very little time that needs to be put into something like this that is overwhelming, right? The reason people generally don't get what they want in life is they just allow themselves to get overwhelmed, right? It just seems too big. So what's really nice, if you could dedicate like 30 minutes a day, just like I'm going to learn this stuff and I'm willing to apply it. The compound effect, if you haven't read that book, I'd highly recommend it. It's very, very good. But the compound effect is very powerful. Right. And it's this idea that if you do small things every day, it makes a big, huge difference for you. So making a lot of money over time becomes very easy. if you just do small things every day. And I teach you how to do that, right? So you could knock out 3 big things that you want to do to be able to start making money on a monthly basis. Maybe it's like, all right, I'm going to talk to 10 people today. I'm going to set up this Facebook page today. I'm going to get my LLC set up today, right? And then all of a sudden you're off to the races and you're free, right? Which is my goal for you. I want you to be able to invest time with the people you love doing the things that you enjoy. Get out of the rat race, right? The rat race is the worst, right? And Chris would be the first person to tell you that. It's no one wants to be living Groundhog Day every day on a hamster wheel, doing the same thing over and over and over again. Einstein said it's the definition of insanity, right? So you want to be able to get out of that as soon as you can. And this is a great way to do it. Here's a question from Colleen real quick. So the PSP company doesn't cut us out of the middle. No, not at all. You'll love this, Colleen, and everybody listening, not one bit. So the pocket size partner, they have something, their core competency, and we can talk about this too. If you're in the program, but their core competency is providing this service. They don't want to sell. They hate selling. They don't want to talk to people, right? They just want to do this work. That's their favorite thing to do. And so this creates something in business that I love. It's called a symbiotic relationship. Again, a really big word that doesn't need to be that big. It just means it creates a relationship like peanut butter and jelly, right? Where peanut butter is really good alone and so is jelly, but together they taste amazing. Right. So you've got somebody that's able, like you're able to make a friend with this HVAC company, right? They don't want to be talking to Jim. They just want to do the work for Jim. So they will never, ever go around you ever. Right. That's just not something they do or like to do or want to do. It's awesome. Their job, their core competency is fulfillment, which is cool. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Is it a website or a Facebook group that you set up to attract the customers, or does the PSP generate leads through online algorithms? Great question as well. So in life, I have this motto, and it is keep it simple. The other one is be excellent in the basics and elevate your sites, right? And so this is actually much, much easier. It says anonymous. I would use your name. I don't know your name, but it's a great question. There is no need to build a website, right? Or even a Facebook group. What's really cool is you just have a page. Again, you could build in 5 minutes on Canva. You set it up, you drive traffic to it, and then you rent the traffic out. And so, and you're actually driving people to something on Facebook that's really, really cool called the Facebook lead form, right? Which you can automate directly from the lead form to Slack or to their cell phone or to a Google Sheet or to a CRM. And again, all of that stuff is covered in the program as well. Great question. Can you tell us more about the automation process? Yes. I would just say I teach y'all how to use some really cool software that changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. It was really cool. When I was getting into business, I was wondering how all this automation stuff worked. I was like, dang, I gotta make my life way easier. And I want to figure out how to connect systems and all this stuff. And I was like, it must be so hard. People must need to know how to program and do all this coding stuff. And you don't have to learn how to code at all. There's really cool tools you can use that automatically just set up automations between your, like, for example, let me give you a really cool example. Let's say that whenever you get paid, because I also teach you how to use this payment processor that automatically collects payment every month from your customer. So right now you may have this thought or this internal belief oh man, do I need to go in and charge my customer every single month? No, I teach you to do what Netflix does, right? So Netflix, they don't call you every month, be like, hey, did you pay your $13 to use our system? Right? It's charged automatically so that your customers charge or a card, if it's $1,200, it just automatically goes into your bank account every month. And maybe you want to be able to receive a text message whenever you get paid, because that'd be kind of fun, right? Let's say you and your sweetheart are sitting at the dinner table and all of a sudden you make $3,000, right? While you're sitting there eating dinner. And if you want to get a text when that happens, I teach you how to do that, right? So it's all of a sudden it just says, hey, you just made $3,000 from this customer. And so then you can just show your wife or your hubby, hey, check it out. This is fun. We should go celebrate, right? So that's kind of how that will work. Web address, great question. No, I should have clarified. Thank you. A lot. I think it's Elias. It's zero, the number. I'm so glad you asked. Zero, not zero spelled out. $0startup.com. So just dollar individual and then startup. Super cool. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Do you have a Facebook page? I don't have Instagram. Oh, I do have Facebook. You can just honestly best way, yeah, add me as a friend. I don't know if I can, or just reach out through a direct message. The website, if you can't find me, if you don't have Instagram, the website's a great way to do it. You can also listen to my podcast if you're interested in more. It's called The Life Invested. I'm having a big event on gratitude, growth, and giving. If you guys are wanting to learn more or hang out, I think the world of this group already. But I think that's about it. Let me just double check here. I'll put answer live done. I think that's all the questions. And I'm just going back through here. Would it work for providing leads to realtors? Cameron Barnhart asked that. Absolutely. 100% this would work for that. It's a great question. And you could build, what's really, really cool is you could build you could build your own like traffic stop, right? Like for realtors, your own page. Let's say that you called it Barnhart Realtors or whatever it is, right? And you built this really easy Facebook page, drive traffic to that and rent it out to people that needed it. Chris, right above it, do you offer the training to do this on our own, meaning finding our own services, or are we required to utilize your software? Oh, no, you're not required to utilize anything from me. In fact, like the only reason I provide a group that can do the service for you is because I just want it to be easier for you. You don't even have to use that group. I actually teach you how to find your own groups. And there's times when it might be more fun for you to find like a local pocket-sized partner. And I teach you how to do that. It may be better for you to use a different type of software, and I teach you how to do that. I provide for you free software, or I provide software that's the most inexpensive for you so that you don't have to worry about paying a lot of money. My goal is to make you as successful as possible with as little risk as is possible.
Sam has a question on
Man, you guys are amazing. What a
how
fun
how this might be blue ocean and not like and new rather than like already done. Do you want to, can you touch on maybe a little bit how this is different or new?
Totally. Yeah. I think this probably Sam's, why isn't this already being done everywhere? Why is it new? Yeah, good question. Thanks a ton for asking this. So it's new because people don't understand what we're doing is we're leveraging what people have loved in real estate for years, right? And we're just moving it to the internet, which is really, really cool. Like everybody wants passive income, right? Their goal is I'm going to save up a bunch of money for a down payment so that I can buy a house or buy an Airbnb or put money into a syndication or into a fund, right? Something like that. But what's better is that you can realize like, hey, I can have the same returns or better returns. It's so very interestingly as well. In finance, there's this other phrase that I love, and it's called an infinite return. It's so cool, right? The idea is that you get an infinite amount back with zero invested. That's legit. Very, very few opportunities are infinite return opportunities. And this is one of them where you don't have to put in any money, right? And you get oodles back. I hope that makes sense. And why it's new. So you asked why it's new. It's new because most people, again, are plugging into other people's assets, right? They're plugging into their pages. They're plugging into their tools, which means, so I'll teach you one other secret that you guys are going to love. It's very, very cool how this works. So I have an American Express Platinum card I use for business, and it's really nice because it gets a lot of points, right? It's got a lot of rewards. So let's say that I'm running traffic to my own page, right? Whose credit card is on that page? Makes it so nice, right? So again, so what happens is your customers, the people that you're helping, they actually end up paying for your vacations. They actually end up paying for your Amazon purchases because you get all these points by using their ad spend on your card. Right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So when Chris, I hope that answers your question. Why is it new? Why is it different? That's a very different, right? Very, very different than what everybody else is doing. Again, most of the time it's, hey, let's say again, there's JT Home Services. Hey, can you come help us run some ads? Sure. Give us your login or give us access to your page. We'll run everything. It's their credit card. It's their stuff. You're just basically like stepping in as one of their employees and running stuff for them, right? In this case, you are the one that runs the show and you're the one that owns the asset. Do you have a YouTube channel? Dude, I'm so glad you asked. We're actually launching our channel within the next week, which is great. I'm everywhere except YouTube right now. I was like, I got to get on this. So I've got a podcast, which is great. Facebook, you can follow me there. Or Instagram's my biggest community. I also have a big community on LinkedIn, but YouTube is coming this week. So stay tuned. It'll be good to have y'all join. And on the YouTube channel, we'll be talking a lot about some important things just about life too, like gratitude, growth, and giving. TikTok, I am on TikTok as well. That one I'm just starting to grow out too, which is great. Yeah, so follow me there. Let's see, can you mention again about your event coming? Yeah, of course. So it's called the G3 Summit. I'll put the link here. It's going to be so cool. Randy Garn is going to be speaking at that event, g3summit.com/Roger. That's how you can get to it. Makes it super easy. Let's see. Are Chris's students getting a discount code? Colleen, great question. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I would. I'm glad you asked. There's always like something special about just asking, in life. I'm willing to do a discount for you guys. Absolutely. 100%. Okay. As far as discounts go, absolutely. Yeah. I'm willing to give you guys a 10% discount on the program. If you, reach out, just let me know how you found us. Like just say, hey, I heard you on this webinar with Chris, or it was my main goal again, is I already think the world of you guys. I want to support you and help in any way I can. And so, yeah, please reach out. Let's become friends. I mean, if nothing else, follow on Instagram. I hope the content that I put out there is meaningful for you and helps your life progress, and it makes you better, level up. But love and appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me invest my time with you. I just think the world of all of you. Anything else from Steve or from Shauna?
No, I think this is great. Thank you so much for teaching us all about this today. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is life-changing stuff.
And that is how we don't have a situation like your situation. We have someone who is like our step-in employee, where we're like, give them the logins, give them our credit card and that type of a thing. Whereas you would be, handing over a list of leads that are already interested in what we're trying to get across.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I love it. And thank you for everyone being so gracious. You're very welcome. Thank you like a million times. That's so kind of you. Grateful to know all of you, and look forward to you following along. I hope you went and followed on Instagram, and I can get to know you guys better.
Perfect. And then when they reach out for a call or for more information, they can find the prices and like the different tiers of the program through that.
Yes, we have got so many different options for the program. We've got one where it's like just the program. We've got a light version. We've got one with coaching. We've got one with direct access to me. So to work with me individually, it's pretty different, but it is available for you guys, right? Like if you want to work with me directly to have help, there's one where we actually provide people for you. So like if, let's say you're someone that doesn't want to go find these people, we actually find them for you and just set up appointments so you can call them and close deals. So it's kind of fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much today.
You're very, very welcome. You're welcome. Look forward to chatting with you guys in the future, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Perfect. Thanks. Bye, Roger.
You bet. We'll see you guys.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. We're putting up tons of them, but I think if you like this one, you'll probably like that video as well. Not only that, I've got a book that I created, Mapping Out the Millionaire Mystery, where we actually show you what the wealthy do in the game they play with money. I want you to have that for free. And if you want to know about all my new videos coming up, click that alert button. Actually, smash that alert button, and you'll be notified every time we put a new video. So we'll see you on the next episode.